So did you guys see the Welcome Back Jimmy Kimmel event last night?
No. I did not watch it at all. I'm glad. Great. Free speech is back. I don't watch the late night shows. Not for me.
I don't actually have cable. I haven't subscribed to cable in over a decade, but I did watch it online. And I also did go and check like the maps where you could see like where Sinclair and Nexstar control the media in Michigan versus like where it was actually going to play on TV.
Yeah.
And it looked like geographically speaking, like only about half of Michiganders were able to view this live on air last night.
Yeah, so just as a reminder to folks, we've talked about Sinclair and Nexstar in the past. These are the affiliates that own the broadcast stations around the country. And Northern Michigan, so where my parents currently live, that is all Sinclair Broadcasting. They did not air Jimmy Kimmel.
Like the east side of the UP, Traverse City, and
Sault Ste.
like
Marie.
the whole west side, like from central to west over. In
Grand
the
Rapids, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Portage, none of y'all. Looks
Ottawa,
like Lansing
like Holland,
too.
yeah.
None of y'all got your Jimmy Kimmel live. And my parents are actually pretty big Jimmy Kimmel fans, so they did not get their Jimmy Kimmel last night.
But let's talk about like what he said for a second, because like we watched the clips this morning.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I'm on the struggle bus a little bit, right? Because I wanted him to come out like this, like, haha, you motherfuckers.
Fuck you guys.
And I didn't feel like that happened. What do you say?
Look, I don't even know how to watch Jimmy Kimmel, to be honest, because there's too many like apps on my TV. I've got no fucking idea which one of them would give me Jimmy Kimmel. But I do watch things on my little screen when I wake up in the morning, and I did see it on his opening monologue on Instagram.
Almost 20 minutes long.
It was long, and they had it all on there. And I was the same as you, Gina. I was so ready for him to come out and say, listen here, motherfucker, Carr, Trump, basically, Bob Iger, like just throw shade at everybody.
Name names and just a takedown.
Exactly, and turn around and say, now, over and out, peace, see you all later. But he was just, well, first of all, I thought it was boring.
Is he trying to be bipartisan?
It kind of was.
Yeah.
It kind of was. I mean, there was no actual apology, but it was like, number one, what he said originally, you've got to have a pretty flexible fucking mind to think that was like, anything but, he's a comedian, for God's sake.
He was commenting. He wasn't making fun of Charlie Kirk's death.
No.
He was commenting on the fact that Trump went on ad nauseum about his $1 trillion ballroom.
Yeah.
That's what he did. That's what he was pointing out. And he was saying that the right was politicizing this person's death.
Yeah, and Trump could care less because when questioned at this press conference, he was just like, oh, yeah, hey, did you notice the ballroom's being built?
Right.
Like he didn't even say
He pivoted
anything.
within like 30 seconds.
Not
too.
even, like 3.
Yeah.
We actually spoke about that last week on the podcast, right? So it was something that we'd noticed, and it was fucking weird. But at any rate, he came out, obviously, last night. The thing we need to point out to people as well is Jimmy Kimmel, as soon as Charlie Kirk was the assassination, he did a tweet which was really, really like, I'm so sorry, I feel terrible, this should never have happened, political assassination. He was so like, it was such a, like, just such a tweet.
He showed empathy for the situation and the people who were sad about it.
And to his family as well. Like, it was incredibly empathetic. And then for this shit to happen, but then when he came out, and then last night, I have to say this, I might get into trouble for this, but what got me was he started almost crying when he was talking about Charlie Kirk. And look, I just want to point out, I am completely against violence. I've got, there is no place for this whatsoever.
I want to remind people, you've met and interviewed Charlie Kirk here in Detroit.
I have, yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know what? Free speech, I'm a big advocate for it. It's what we do each and every fucking day, and certainly on our podcast, YouTube, and all that kind of stuff. But to see him almost crying, I was just a little bit confused by the whole thing. It was just a weird vibe. Anyway,
do you think it was crying over what happened to Charlie Kirk, or being emotional about what had happened in the last week, being pulled off the air, and all of the First Amendment violations that the Trump administration was committing?
It was specifically when he was talking about Charlie Kirk.
Because I did not watch it, like I said.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I saw the clip this morning. It was definitely, he was emotional around the Charlie Kirk thing, which is, you know what? He probably knows him. There's probably some personal, I have no idea. And being a father and a husband, he probably was like, there was an emotion attached to that. At any rate, it just wasn't what I expected it to be. And the one thing I do want to say is I got a lot of inquiries last week as to Still Social, as people, this really, the firing or the suspension of Jimmy Kimmel really hit a nerve for people, which I thought was really interesting. And my response to that is that as like people, Gina and I, have started to Still Social, knowing 4 or 5 years ago that honestly, mainstream media, it is beholden to billionaires, oligarchs, and now we can see the government, which has been happening for a while. This is not new.
Yeah.
So, my response to those people was cancel your Disney Plus.
And your Hulu.
And whatever.
Yeah.
Cancel your Disney Plus and put that money towards us. We are new media. We were like spreading news. Sorry, the boys are laughing at me here behind the camera. They're like, shameless plug, Julie. But absolutely.
No, but it's like, the first thing people want to do when something like this happens is like, how do we fight it? Where can we write a letter to? Where should we donate to? And I want to say, like, keep your money in Michigan. Stop donating to these national organizations where you end up paying for administration
costs,
and just keeping the lights on costs, and not actually the people doing the work. Because there's so many good organizations who are Michigan-based organizations. They're smaller nonprofits, grassroots groups doing the work here on the ground, like Distill Social and like some of our partners, particularly like the ballot initiative partners. You want to put your money where your mouth is, you keep your money in Michigan.
Or visit distillsocial.com and you can donate. There's a nice little button there.
Us, follow and like and subscribe to local journalists in your area. It's so important.
It really is. And I think it is the reminder that I think economics, basically we have the power of the purse. And, I'm a big advocate for going out and spending your money basically where your values are. I do that when I eat out. I do that when I travel. I am very, very, and the same should be in terms of where you get your entertainment. The same should be in terms of where you get your news. Yep. Big advocate for that.
I want to kind of go back to what you said, that this First Amendment free speech thing kind of struck a nerve with a lot of folks. And if anyone is familiar with the movie V for Vendetta, there is a Tonight Show type host. He's British, that gets taken off the air and black bagged because he made fun of the supreme leader. So I think that strikes a nerve with people because it feels like fascism, because it is. And that's what's really scary about these things. So yes, I wish Jimmy Kimmel would have come back out, with his 2 fingers up and just really blazing last night. But unfortunately, it was a little bit more milquetoast, a little more kumbaya. But at least he's back on the air. So there's a win there for free speech.
There is. But, this is not the end. Remember, this is just like part of it.
Yeah.
So, he's already been, Bob Iger obviously got a lot from, the chairman of Disney, probably copped a lot of shit from his mates over the weekend. That's probably what happened, quite honestly. They took a dip in terms of financially. He probably copped a lot of shit from people in the entertainment industry who said, what are you doing? Unions, all that sort of stuff.
You know what I found really interesting? Sarah McLachlan, right?
Oh. Baby, I do believe.
Lilith
Fair.
That's right.
1997.
So Disney was sponsoring the reprisal of the Lilith Fair.
Oh.
She pulled out. Obviously, she was the headliner when the fair was at its height in the 90s. And it was a fair that was just all like women empowered rock groups and women singers.
Melissa Etheridge.
Right.
The Chicks.
So, Sarah McLachlan was like, nope. Like, this is my tour. I'm not fucking doing it. Like, we're here for free speech. And she was also the musical guest on Jimmy Kimmel last night.
Amazing. So, see, it all comes back full circle and it all comes back to their wallets. And that hit them where it hurts, really.
Yeah. We just got to remember where our power is. And I think that's a really important. And to recognize when shit is really going down, because it wasn't really Jimmy Kimmel. There was there's so much else that's happening. But we all obviously shiny things, so like
it
TV
manifested
stars.
in Jimmy Kimmel, and that was the example. most Americans could wrap their brain around.
Correct, exactly. But if we go to what Erdogan did this in Turkey, like this is all part of the rapid slide, and it's also part of Project 2025.
Yep.
Reminder.
Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Point of Disorder podcast. I'm Adrian.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Gina.
And I'm also so tired. So if you're tired too, like us, give us a like, a follow, a share, wherever you're getting your podcasts so we can be together in solidarity. We're also on all the socials, including the full video of this episode on YouTube. You can find us at The Point of Disorder. So I mean, I'm tired for a reason, and I was actually supposed to take today off, but Julie was like, please come back and be with us today. And I said, okay, that's fine.
I was worried about your mental health, quite honestly. So I'm very conscious of the fact that this is, working together and being part of the team is the only way that you do this shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And no matter what, whether it be emotionally or physically, we need to, I'm always like, I've been watching enough NFL, like the Lions, go Lions at the moment, but I cannot understand how they have 500 players on each team. And I think that's what we all need.
We all need our own Lions football team.
We need to be able to check in and check out
We
and
need
look on
a
each other.
first and second string
Correct,
here.
yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
absolutely.
Yes.
So I appreciated that, but I'm happy to come back in this week and help out since there are a lot of really important things that we need to kind of get through. And kind of at the top of the hour here, which again, this shit, talking about it just immediately drags me down, but we have to talk about it. This ICE detention center facility shooting that happened this morning in Texas. Looks like the shooter themselves was either taken down, was unalived in some way. But the shooter was going after, it appears, actual detainees.
Yeah, that's right. At this point in time, we know 3 detainees were targeted. 2 are dead. I don't know the status of the third. But as soon as this news broke, the thing that really gets me is you had J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, Kristi Noem, coming right out, getting on Twitter and saying this was targeted against our law enforcement, when that is a bold-faced lie.
Literally just happened 5 minutes ago. Like, slow your roll.
Yeah, just a reminder that we record on a Wednesday, which seems like every Wednesday something happens after we stop recording, but this week it's happened beforehand.
So now that it's Thursday and you're hearing this, I'm sure more details will be out. But at this point in time, it's only been detainees who have been harmed. So the top people in our government coming out and saying this was an attack on law enforcement when there is no evidence to that right now, other than a likely fake post from Kash Patel where he found a photo of bullets that somebody wrote like "fuck ICE" on one of them or something like that.
I think the point of this is,
what do they say? Anti-ICE. I mean, it is clearly a phony
they need to take their Twitters away from them.
Kash Patel, reminder, he's the head of the fucking FBI.
He's this guy who looks
That's right, exactly.
Right.
So poor Kash, he learned shit in the last 2 weeks.
No.
Dude was in so much trouble about reacting so quickly after the Charlie Kirk assassination and fucking it all up. And now it's like, mate, someone needs to take his phone away from him or his Twitter or whatever the fuck he's got going on there.
He posts this. Like, we're supposed to believe the shooter wrote anti-ICE in like a pen on the side of a bullet and then shot detainees but not ICE officers. That's what they want us to
But what are
believe.
these bullets? Aren't they like the
the
picture?
long-
Yeah, but aren't they like pictured like together, like all nice and like they're not on? Okay. All right, that's fine. They are arranged very neatly at a crime scene.
Bottom line, this shit happened in the last hour. There is no way they've had time to do a fucking investigation or to authenticate anything at this point. So take fucking tweet. Let's not run this country and run the FBI on Twitter. Can we do that?
It's too late. That's what they're doing. This is what I said when Trump got reelected. Like the first thing I said, election night going into the next day when I was just beside myself was like, oh, fuck me. He has no guardrails now. And that means his administration doesn't have guardrails either. So we have the people at the very top levels of government, the vice president, the head of Homeland Security, the head of the FBI, who are just Charlie Sheen smoking crack, literally saying whatever they want. Tiger blood, like
they're lying.
They're lying.
I'm very comfortable in saying they are lying.
Yeah.
This is full of shit. I mean, and we also recently found out that Tom Holman fucking collected a bag of $50,000 worth of cash before the election last year, which was basically FBI people.
Yeah, remind everyone who he is.
Oh, Tom Holman, he's the border czar. I don't even know what his official title is, but he's the border czar. So he's the guy that's basically managing the border. And what happened was and I know this wasn't on our list to talk about, but I think it's important to understand that all of these people were planning this. So in September, October last year, it's just come out that the FBI at that time basically went undercover, and I think it was some sort of takeaway bag of
a Target bag?
No, it was like, I don't know, some sort of takeaway restaurant bag of money, $50,000, which was given to him. They went undercover and pretending to be business people that were looking to get contracts with ICE.
Yeah.
So he literally, and apparently this is all on video.
He's not going to get busted at all for this.
Well, this is last October.
Yeah,
the FBI, there was an opportunity at that point, obviously, to do an investigation into this. And it's like, so we've got a dude that is now running the border czar,
and he's taking,
who accepted fucking $50,000 in cash. What is this? The mob? Like, where are we, Gina? What is going on? Please explain.
It is like the mob. It is very much like the mob. I mean, kind of seeing what's happening with the UAE and Trump again, and all these microchips and like enriching his family. That's back in the news again as well. So I think, of course, like it's terrible what happened to these detainees at the ICE detention facility, but like we just need the government to stop fucking tweeting within 30 seconds of something happening and like do your job and investigate. Yes. Literally, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. That is in the name. That is what you need to do before you start going off half-cocked.
Because all this shit, all it does is cause confusion, and people take away that one little tidbit that you just shared with us, Gina, and they run with that. That's all. That's all they will have heard.
Point, though.
So at this point in time, we know the shooter was a 29-year-old white man who took his life after he shot the detainees.
That's literally it. That's all we know.
We don't have a motive at this time.
Well, it's very sad, and it's just the exclamation point I'm going to put on this. It's the fucking guns, people.
Right.
It's the guns.
It's the guns. But okay, well, I'm going to tell the audience today, there are so many disparate things going on everywhere. This whole divide and conquer strategy that they're working on, it's working. We've got so many other things to kind of get to, but I want to turn our attention to our friends in the Democratic Party for a moment, and just kind of hearkening back to Jimmy Kimmel. It's like, I need y'all to stand up and fucking do something and be strong about this. Like we need leaders. We need leaders in our party.
So we're kind of like barreling towards another federal government shutdown, and mind you, like the Democrats have done a shit ton of polling on this, and it is clear that should the government shut down, the majority of people will blame Republicans, because it's Republicans who control every chamber of our government right now. And knowing this, Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer decide their best course of action is to send another strongly worded letter to Donald Trump demanding
a
sit down with him.
Right.
And not only that, they then want their constituents to promote this letter for them, right? So, and now I just want to point out, like, this is something that happens all the time, right? Like, a Democrat will put a statement out, there'll be a press release, whatever, and they go to their community and they ask the leaders in their community, whether it's Dem Club presidents or activist organizations or just, people who have a platform, like, hey, like, we're trying to get this message out. Can you spread it? So
like
that's
you
totally
guys.
normal.
Yeah.
Exactly. So would I ever fucking share a strongly worded letter from Chuck Schumer saying, this is our beacon right now, guys. Let's all get behind this.
Get behind the letter.
Fuck no. No. Like, I don't want any more fucking letters. It's instant. The only letter I might want out of you two is the resignation letter at this point.
Yeah.
It's just, so this really, really upsets me, makes me very angry. When Gina called me about this on Saturday, I was out running around the state doing the stuff that we do. And I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. So the very reason that I started Distill Social was because I would get a fucking PDF a week, at least, a 5-page PDF from these pricks saying to me, sorry, I'm running out of like nice words for folks.
You're running out of patience.
My patience is very slim. Saying, can you please get this information out to your people? It's like, dudes, like that was then and I was pissed. Now when people are losing their health care, like it is insane to think that sending a fucking harshly worded letter, not just that, Gina, but think about what's happening in our society right now. Think about what just happened to Charlie Kirk. Think about what happened in Minnesota not that long ago. Think about that you are literally turning around and saying to activists on the ground, can you please go and get that messaging out? Oh, and my only thing that I suggest that you do to protect yourself is delete me.
Yeah.
That's the other message.
Right.
Like they're
my
literally turning and saying, like, none of us are paid for what we do. Like none of us are paid, believe it or not, by Soros or by the Democratic Party. None of us.
Nope.
We are literally just folks that give a shit.
Podcast and don't pay.
Correct. We are people that give a shit, and we have, we've built up the ability to be able to send a message out that people want to listen to. I just want to say to the Democratic Party, no one wants to buy or listen to you right now, and there's a reason for that, because a strongly worded letter is not going to protect us.
No, it's not. I mean, it's, like you were saying, we've got people who are trying to decide between healthcare and groceries and paying for their electric bill.
Correct.
We have people who are being black bagged off the street and dropped into foreign countries.
And Trump is up there fucking at a funeral telling us that he hates his enemies.
He hates us.
Guess who are his enemies?
Us. Hi, I'm a Democrat. Literally saying that he hates us. And that's why when these folks all start talking about bipartisanship, it makes my skin crawl, because we are so post-bipartisan right now. We are so far as fuck away from that. Like, you need to fight back. You need to be like Newsom, just screaming into the void with your strongly worded letter. That better be in all fucking caps.
So we're literally putting ourselves out every day, and their response is a strongly worded letter and delete me.
The response is asking Haley Stevens to have her constituents post this letter on their social media. Are you fucking kidding me?
Do you think this has something to do with the average age of the folks that are in the legislature, which we talked about?
Hakeem Jeffries.
How do you not have social presence, though? How have you not built the infrastructure? How have you not learned?
The thing is, like, they have a social presence, but it sucks, okay? Yeah. Like, nobody's interested. They're very boring. When you look at the policies of some of these people, like Haley Stevens, there's nothing there for a lot of people, right? Yeah. People want Medicare for all right now, and you're like, well, let's lower drug costs. Great, but how about nobody dies because they can't afford to go to the emergency room?
I mean, not even just that. Now it's like, do I even have a country? Am I going to have elections in a year and a half? Literally, am I going to be black bagged? Am I going to be pulled off the air? Am I going to have all my assets frozen because I have a podcast and I want to speak my mind? Like, these are
Don't give them ideas.
Sorry. No. Oh, geez. But like that's the thing, is like, I don't feel, other than us, in our, on the ground, the people who are doing the grassroots work, I don't see anyone fighting for us.
There's a few people like Mamdani, who Jeffries refuses to endorse.
Right. I mean, I think you have here, Gina, like what should have this letter said? And I think you should read that.
Dear President Trump, until your people get their shit together, ain't shit happening. Sincerely, fuck you, Rep. Hakeem Jeffries.
Like, that's the kind of thing.
That's my version of the letter that I would put out.
And that is what the American people want to hear. We want to hear.
And then I would do a selfie like this.
And to see that, you have
XOXO.
Yes.
And to see that, you have to watch us on YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, but again, to your point, like, a whole bunch of Democrats.
No baseball bat. Ooh. No.
A whole bunch of Democrats, in the House of Representatives voted to honor Charlie Kirk. Okay. So let's kind of unpack that a little bit.
So that came up on my phone I think it was Friday.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I wonder if I made a few Congress people cry again over the weekend.
You did, because now they're calling you.
So, we yeah.
You motherfuckers reap what you sow.
I know.
Don't take shitty money and don't do shitty votes. It's that easy.
That's, the weird part, I actually read it on a mainstream media, like news media, and I was reading it. It was fucking confusing. They did it in this weird
Which is
way.
why I made it very clear.
Correct, exactly. So Gina and I were actually in a meeting when this all happened together. We're in a meeting together, and I'm like, holy shit. And then I'm like, she's like, tweet that. And I'm like, I've got to read it. It's really confusing the way that they put it out. But basically the bottom line is that there are only 2 Michigan Congress people that voted against Shri and
Rashida.
Thank you. My
Which
brain's
was
not
odd,
functioning.
very odd, because it's usually Rashida and Debbie Dingle, and
Right.
then everybody else has bad takes.
Yeah.
And it was funny. So should be said that it was the 2 representatives whose districts cover Detroit, and they probably are the more demographically like diverse districts, right? Because if you listen to what Charlie Kirk said, he very much hit on Black women and immigrants and people of color in general, and
he
women
didn't want
in
Black
general,
people flying planes.
But he went really hard on Black women in particular. So, so to have Rashida and Shri be like, no, like we can't, in good faith, sign off on this, but then have people like Debbie Dingle and Haley Stevens and Hillary Scholten, McDonald Rivet say, yeah, sure, we'll sign off on that. Okay.
I mean, we can talk about it being an anti-violence bill and being against political violence, sure, but we're literally taking Charlie Kirk's birthday and making it a national day of remembrance. When you've said we don't have a JFK birthday national day of remembrance.
That was the question that I asked last week.
Yeah,
was
there's
I'm like, is there a JFK day and I don't know about it? Like I really, because
many really profound historical figures, like a Harriet Tubman, for instance. She doesn't have a day.
No.
Charlie Kirk is just a political pundit.
Provocateur.
Yeah. Basically, I mean, it's not like we were going to give Rush Limbaugh a day, and it's the same guy.
You never know. Didn't he get like the Presidential Medal of Freedom or something from Trump?
But this was wrong. I think the right move would have been for all of them to abstain or vote no.
Yeah.
And this was just like that resolution where they were trying to say a few months ago, where they were praising ICE, but at the same time. Condemning anti-Semitism. Like, can you people stop falling for the MAGA playbook?
This is the seeding ground that I keep talking about. The fact that, quite simply, they are setting you up each and every time. They are doing these bills or these whatever they call them in a way that is forcing your hand to. They're fucking with you.
Yeah,
they are fucking with you, and you're seeding grounds.
And now they have you on the record.
That's right. Just abstain, but just abstain, because you know what? You honestly, if I buy a car, I'm buying the whole fucking car.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Do better. Be best.
Be best.
Do better. Stop. I just feel fucking disappointed. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. I think that's kind of where I'm
So
at.
your words say one thing, your face says another. But anyway, yes, keep going.
The Democrats keep disappointing me, and it's getting really, really hard for me to say, yes, I'm all in for my party when this is the shit that keeps happening.
So I yesterday was talking to a friend of mine who is a Black woman, and she was talking about the fact that the Charlie Kirk thing really got to her. Really, really got to her as a woman, but also a Black woman. She was very conscious of what he thought of her, and so that then reflects directly, as far as she's concerned, into what
The whole country thinks of her.
Well, and these representatives, the Congress people that are representing her have literally gone around and turned around and said, oh, well, they've ticked that and said that's all okay.
Yeah.
That black women have less brain power, which is, was his messaging. Anyway.
I'm so fucking tired and disappointed. I want to add the word disappointed because I am. I'm just deeply, deeply disappointed in the Dems and specifically some of our reps. Debbie Dingell she is my rep. I might have to call her office or send a strongly worded letter.
You should send a strongly worded letter.
You think they'd listen?
Would you like us to send you the template that Hakeem
please send me the template and I will use ChatGPT to alter it. I will send my own strongly worded letter. I will just kind of go back to that and say too, it's really important that people get a hold of their congresspeople or their state reps or state senators. It's very important that you do that. It's more effective if you do it by a phone call, not necessarily an email or a strongly worded letter. So that them trying to say, let's get out the strongly worded letter. No, it doesn't work. Anyway, more things in our unhinged land, the unhinged states of America, if you will. Every week, Trump opens his mouth, opens his bathrobe, as you would say. close your robe, Grandpa. Yeah. I think everybody has been talking, obviously to get away. They want you to get away from the Epstein files. But Trump did a couple appearances this week where he's let, loose and allowed to speak. The first one being around this whole notion that Tylenol, which is a brand, I would just like to make sure everyone knows out there, Tylenol is a brand of acetaminophen, and acetaminophen is in a lot of things. He was basically saying that Tylenol causes autism, and which
is not true.
It is not true. Tylenol is a brand, and he could not even get out the word acetaminophen. He couldn't say it in the conference.
That's what happens when the syphilis reaches your brain. It's hard to find the words and get them out.
Yeah,
I mean, it could also be dementia. The man is almost 80 years old.
But can I what I want to say about this is at Charlie Kirk's funeral on Sunday, memorial, whatever it was.
It was like a big stadium party with fireworks and
correct.
Shit, right? Yeah.
And I just want to point out, if something happens to me, I'd like you to register voters at my memorial as well, if you could, please.
Perfect.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
But he basically did he said that he's about to release the cure or the reason for autism. So he literally is part of his rant.
Is Trump just Jenny McCarthy 2.0?
Oh my God, I've totally thought about Jenny McCarthy and how she started all this shit, and I can't watch Masked Singer without looking at her and going, you bitch.
I thought about that this morning as well. Oprah has a lot to because that was on the Oprah show, right?
Mm-hmm. Was it?
Yeah.
But
Jenny
Oprah
McCarthy
used to have Dr. Oz on, too.
And I was going to say.
And Dr. Phil.
So we've got to go back to what happened was, so he announced it at Charlie Kirk's funeral that he was about to do some breaking news about autism, and then he does his fucking press conference with,
RFK,
brainworms, and Dr. Oz, and stands there and says, okay, so in a country, he doesn't say this, but I just want to point out, we are in a country right now that many, many women are forced to carry babies, regardless of the situation, right? Mm-hmm. Not in this state, because we fought personally to be able to make that.
Forced to carry pregnancies.
But in many, many instances around this country, women are forced to carry pregnancies. So he gets up there and says one of the major reasons that autism is so prevalent in today's society is because women are taking Tylenol during their pregnancy.
So as a person who has had 2 pregnancies and had 2 children, you're only allowed to take Tylenol for pain and for fever when you are pregnant. You're not allowed to take anything else. That is the only thing. It is proven safe. Having a fever as a pregnant woman is not something you should tough out. Because he said, tough it out if you can, right? Like, he's basically up there acting like a fucking medical doctor. Yeah. You need to be able to take this to bring your fever down so that your fever doesn't harm your fetus or your pregnancy. It's fucking absurd. Are you going to read his crazy comments?
Do you want me to read the crazy comments?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's funny when you do it in
I
your
just
accent.
want to say that Tylenol is probably the most studied drug in the entire history of
acetaminophen
pharmaceuticals.
Tylenol's the brand.
Yes,
acetaminophen.
but they've done the tests on the brand Tylenol.
Literally,
like this is a safe drug. That's all I'm going to say.
As long as it's got the cap that it's covered and it's a safety cap and there's no cyanide in there like in the 80s, you're good.
I mean, this drug has been studied time and time again by actual scientists and not people with brain worms. So
or syphilis.
Yeah, please read
syphilis.
So this is a direct quote. So the thing about Trump, if you ever go back and read the transcripts of what he says, it's fucking frightening. Just want to point that out. But this is what he said. So take of this.
Do you want to take a deep breath? Because I'm sure there are no periods in there.
Do you need to drink anything before?
I'll probably need a martini.
It's going to be one long run-on sentence.
That's right. I don't even know where to breathe in this.
Take a deep breath.
Okay. Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen. But with Tylenol, don't take it. Don't take it. And if you can't live, if your fever is so bad, you have to take one because there's no alternative to that. Sadly, first question, what can you take instead? It's actually there's not an alternative to that, and as you know, other of the medicines are absolutely proven bad. I mean, they are proven bad. Okay, right. Where's my martini, boys?
This is also. I just want to point out that during COVID, he told people they should inject bleach, and people did, and then they died.
Yes,
because they're listening to him. They're listening to him give medical advice that is unfounded.
It's the same people saying this that. You know, the dewormer they were also taking, and I just also want to point out that RFK Jr., who kind of like spearheaded all of this, is a 14-year heroin addict.
Yeah.
And had dead worms in his brain. So,
and I mean, I think the thing that it's a problem. It's basically a cure looking for a problem from the point of view that one of the big reasons, and we all know there is. I mean, I grew up in the 70s. I went to the school in the early 70s. We all know there was lots of kids that were unusual, but they weren't ever diagnosed as having.
Yes.
Autism is a spectrum. Right?
A very large swath.
A very large spectrum. And so what's happened is as science has developed and, there's more, tests that have run, et cetera, people are looking for reasons as to why perhaps their children are having difficulties learning or looking at different...
They want a silver bullet.
Correct.
And there is no silver bullet with autism. It's still being studied. It can be anywhere from a combination of genetic factors to environmental factors. And I think, this obviously is another attack on women, like you said, because it's making women feel like if there's a diagnosis with my child and it's something I did, it's my fault. But I also want to point out this is incredibly fucking ableist. It's basically saying that having autism is inherently negative. It's something that needs to be fixed, that there's a cause, that it's tragic, that it could be prevented, and that it's undesirable. And there are a lot of people out in the autistic community who very high functioning people who are incredibly intelligent and get along every single day and have relationships and have contributions to society.
Yeah.
And highly successful. I just want to point out if, I'm not going to judge, but Elon Musk.
He's got Asperger's.
He's definitely on the spectrum.
The dude's got Asperger's and he's talked about it before.
But so are some of the most successful business people.
Right.
Look, they say Albert Einstein had autism,
Right. I don't know. I mean, we could go on. We are not medical professionals over here. We will be the first ones to say that. I'm not here to give anybody medical advice, but the spectrum is so broad now, too.
Greta seems to be doing pretty well.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say.
But I want to just point back to what you said before, because the reason I wanted you to be on today, Adrian, was I'm a woman, but I've never had children, so I can't even imagine what it must be like for women right now that are having their children diagnosed as we speak, and then firmly basically being told this is your fault. If you took a Tylenol, you had a headache, or perhaps, I know women that have had broken ribs because of the pregnancy.
Oh, yeah.
Shit like that happens. If you've taken a Tylenol, basically it's your fault.
Yeah, I mean, I had a glass of wine when I was pregnant. I had one glass of wine, and they say no alcohol is the best, but I had one glass of wine in my 8th month, and I felt horrible about it. My kids are fine.
It's just another way that we're pointing the finger at women.
I was on prednisone for the majority of my second pregnancy with my daughter.
And she's fine.
She's fine.
It's just another way of blaming women.
It is.
We're forcing them to have children and we're fucking blaming women, and it's just, there is absolutely, it really, really grinds my gears.
It does. And I don't blame you. And I think that, blaming women is central to what the administration is doing, is like, we want you to be vessels. We want you to have as many babies as possible.
Yeah.
And then we also want to set up this culture of grievance so that if, you do have a child with severe cognitive issues related to autism, you want to find someone to blame. And why not blame a pharmaceutical company that manufactures Tylenol? I think it's Johnson & Johnson or something. I will be really curious to see in the coming days, how does the makers of Tylenol respond to this? I mean,
they did put out a statement.
Did they?
And kind of said a little bit what I said earlier about how, this is a drug that's safe and effective, and it's the most studied drug in the world.
Yeah.
And
Slander.
they have absolutely no issue saying that Tylenol is safe.
fucking slander, man.
So
okay.
that's just one weird rant that Trump went on.
Oh, there's the UN rant.
Yeah, exactly. A fucking global laughing stock again.
Basically, what he was saying is that he's been right about everything, that all these countries need to close their borders.
They're all going to hell.
They're all going to hell.
He literally said that.
Yep. He was bitching and moaning about how 25 years ago that the Trump brand had said that they would come into the UN and give them beautiful marble and redo the UN, the building.
He spent 10 minutes raving on about the fact they could have had marble and now they've got plastic. I mean, what the fuck?
I just want to point out, okay, as a former New Yorker, the UN building is on the east side of Manhattan, and it's very, very large. It's on the river. It takes a couple square blocks. It's insanely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
There are all sorts of beautiful and unique works of art that have been donated and are on our display there. There's a courtyard with gorgeous sculptures from all over the world. The UN does not need that fucking Momo's fake gold bullshit all over the place. Everybody knows every building Trump makes is the cheapest shit ever. When you're from Manhattan and you move into a Trump building, apartment building,
I stayed at one.
you get a nice lobby that looks good, and then everything else is the cheapest fucking shit that you could possibly get.
I stayed at a Trump hotel many years ago. I was on a photo shoot. I was just told where to stay. I did see, oh my God, I saw an actress there. I can't remember. But I stayed in the Trump Tower, and the room was okay.
I've stayed in all of them except for Vegas, and I'm going to say that out loud. Before, ladies, before.
Before. We've hated him since the 70s.
I mean,
I come from a different country. I just want to point that out. That I never watched whatever programs. I'm just saying I've stayed in all of them.
Just The Apprentice. That was it. But, okay, so he was at the UN.
On behalf of the rest of the world,
We're sorry.
We are so sorry.
No, I'm going to speak on behalf of the rest of the world and say, close your fucking robe, Grandpa. That is embarrassing.
We are a
now, there
stock.
was a...
Wait, we should point out that what led to the rant was his people couldn't figure out how to put his speech on the teleprompter. So he spent the first few minutes complaining that the teleprompter wasn't working.
And it's a vast conspiracy.
But
now.
it was. His people just didn't upload his speech onto it. And then a woman came on after his speech and was like, I just want everyone to know the teleprompter is working.
It's amazing.
And also, when they arrived, he and Melania tried to get up the escalator, and they couldn't get up because it stopped working the minute they put their foot on it. But apparently I heard that was because one of his forward people had turned off the escalator as well.
Oh my
and
God.
all I could think of when you sent that to me was, fuck, I wish that had happened 10 years ago when he came down that golden escalator.
The golden escalator.
Why did someone not do that then?
Oh, it's almost like he's being punked.
And then you had people on Fox News, Jesse Waters was like, we have to bomb the UN. They turned the escalator off and sabotaged his teleprompter. No, his literal circle is so incompetent. They did it to him.
Oh, my God.
But he was saying other crazy things, too. So because it was basically unscripted, we got a peek into Trump's
mind.
Yeah, this was just,
off script. Quite off script.
Stream of consciousness. This is what he thinks. And in addition to telling everyone in the UN they were all going to hell, which I think we should play that clip.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to end the failed experiment of open borders. You have to end it now. See, I can tell you. I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell.
He also went on a rant about how climate change was a scam, and all of you people with your green energy have all fallen for the scam. And God.
He's the drunk uncle at Thanksgiving.
He is.
He's everyone's drunk uncle.
Can I just point out, this made me laugh so much, that apparently while Trump was speaking to the General Assembly on Tuesday, a Washington Post correspondent said that he received a text message from a senior foreign diplomat posted at the UN. The text message said, and this really speaks to my heart, "This man is stark raving mad. Do Americans not see how embarrassing this is?" Now, on behalf of the rest of the world, once again, because you can imagine my inbox is filled with foreigners, people that don't live here,
You've
saying
lived everywhere.
all day. I've got people saying, what the fuck is wrong with Americans that they think this is normal?
I also want
I just want to say it's only half of us.
It's literally only half of us.
I do not co-sign on this bullshit. That's for sure.
I didn't vote for this. I did not vote for this. I do want to remind everyone that the United Nations was founded after World War II in an effort to combat fascism and Nazism and nationalism and extremism rising in the world. So, if you're going to go rail against the UN and Jesse Waters talking about fucking bombing it, you're telling everyone exactly what side you're on.
And during the speech, he said during it that he'd ended foreign wars everywhere.
Oh, yes.
What made me laugh about it, the countries that were represented in that room
that are at war with one another. He mentioned his Nobel Peace Prize, too.
Yeah, and he said, "We're the hottest country anywhere in the world. I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell."
Yes.
That was his comment.
He's really good at this stuff.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine sitting there? Have you ever did you see their faces? Because have you guys ever done the whole timeshare? You get free accommodation at a fancy swanky hotel if you sit through a 1 hour timeshare interview.
Yes. I've never done that.
I have done that because I have austerity measures happening for me at the moment. So I've done that. And it's like when you're sitting there and you're watching these people, they're raving on you, they're showing, and that's what these people look like. They look like they were in a hostage situation, but they didn't know whether to clap so that he would move on. And that's what it's like in that situation. It's 1 hour, if I could just keep my mouth shut and just let this pass. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Those poor bastards in the room there, they must have been just...
It's just, we wake up every day and it's a new fucking, I don't know, whatever.
They laughed at a couple of different points.
Yeah,
they laughed at his prompter.
him.
When his prompter wasn't working, they laughed at that because I think they thought, oh, shit, great, he's going to stop.
No,
God.
user error.
User error. All right. Well, that's what's been going on unhinged at the national level, which is just every single effing day. But we've got stuff happening here in Michigan. We have an imminent kind of shutdown happening. October 1st is the deadline for the state house and the state senate to get their shit together and come up with a budget. And I
want to just build on Julie's earlier thread on how a lot of this is just really hurts women the most.
Yeah.
Because I want to talk about the things that are in Matt Hall's budget for the state of Michigan that are really harmful to women. And I'm really thankful that the governor has said, I will not sign this budget as it is. It needs to be changed. Hall's refusing. He's really not coming to the negotiating table.
They don't give a shit. They want to shut down the government.
Yeah.
They don't care.
And it'll be the Republicans' fault. But the things that they're cutting out are definitely things that are going to harm women and children the most, particularly the Medicaid and behavioral parts of the DHHS budget. They're cutting $4 billion. Who are most of the people on Medicaid in Michigan?
Women and children.
The same with they're cutting SNAP and double up food bucks, almost $4 million. They're cutting adult Medicaid dental coverage. Great. People's teeth are going to start falling out. Wonderful. They're cutting maternal and infant support programs. They're defunding sexual assault kit funding. I mean, School meals, mental health and school safety programs, school transportation, especially in rural districts. It's like, okay, Republicans, we get it. You hate kids, you hate women. Like, I don't know why these people are ever allowed to run on anything and why Democrats can't message this. Like, Republicans hate kids and they hate women, bottom line.
Yeah, it's the easiest message ever.
So, I mean,
their budget proves it.
Yeah,
like
it's in black and white. Those are the receipts.
So,
and I only read like a quarter of the shit they want to cut.
Yeah.
So a reminder: show me your budget, and I'll show you your values.
Yes,
that is from a personal perspective and from a government perspective. And this budget tells me that your values do not lie in the area of supporting those that are the most vulnerable.
Absolutely. And, you know, furthermore, they're cutting emergency management programs. Okay, now this particularly gets me because we had fucking Kristi Noem fly into Mackinac Island, go to the, you know, Republican leadership conference, and people from mid-Michigan were there, people who were affected by those ice storms last winter, who still haven't gotten relief or aid for rebuilding their lives up north. We're asking her, like, hey, like, can we get some federal aid? And she was basically like, yeah, the government, we need to get rid of the bureaucrats and the red tape and get you guys money. They've been fucking asking for 9 months in a Democratic run country. That check comes that week, like,
Right.
Bottom line.
I mean,
own it.
They always
Own
say
it, bitch.
bureaucrats is such a bad word, but like you need actual people to be running the things to be helping the people. Like that's how that works. AI is not going to do that
I was
for
say,
you.
that's what AI is for.
AI is not going to do that for you. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm screaming a lot into the camera or into the mic today. Gage will tell me if I'm screaming too loud. But yeah, so we're about a week away from a shutdown. So I guess we'll see where we're at next week.
And just a quick reminder, this is the party that ran on family values, right? So we just need to always remind people of that. So
Only if you're
Democrats,
rich.
this is the easiest. This is like a layup. This is the simplest layup you would ever. Even I could do that, and I'm 5'4". I'm like a teeny little person, not much. I could do this layup. It's very simple.
Very simple.
Family values.
No.
I mean. And also, let's just remind everybody about the fucking, apart from their budget, my budget's not going very far at this point because I have to go to the supermarket.
No, a friend.
And buy
Oh my God.
food.
A friend and I were kind of commenting, like she was saying, like her and her husband, the combined, this is the most money they've ever made together in their lives and their careers. And they have 3 kids. And she said, it's so hard for us. Even now, she's like, I don't even know how people are making it on less than what we're making.
I feel like my weekly food costs have doubled from where they were a few years ago.
Oh yeah, I've definitely noticed. I'm like, okay, $250 worth of groceries that I bought from Kroger, and the bags. Like I put everything on my stove top. Like there are way less bags.
I was going to say it's getting smaller.
It's getting way smaller, and I'm trying to think of I'm like on Reddit looking at like, okay, what are cheap meals that I can feed my kids for the week that everyone's going to eat? Rice and beans.
That's right. My husband does our grocery shopping, and he comes in, and we play this game, and it's like, how much did it cost, Julie? Like it's like, how much? What do you reckon? And I'm like, bottle of whiskey or not bottle of whiskey? But anyway, we play that game, and it's insane.
Orange
Absolutely.
juice is
and
$7 for a carton.
I know.
And it's painful.
Let alone the sparkling wine that you
I actually returned grapes to Plum.
Did you really? I don't
did.
allow grapes in my house because my dog ate a bunch of fucking grapes and then I had to have her stomach pumped, and that was a lot of money.
My dog won't eat grapes.
Well, that's good.
I bought a sack of grapes, and it cost over $26.
What?
No.
And I didn't realize it at the time. And when I got home and I checked the receipts, I was like, fuck no.
This is why y'all got to check your receipts, because if it's by the pound,
Yeah, it was by the pound.
$26
Yeah.
for fucking
That's why.
grapes.
Yeah,
Every-
one normal little 1 pound sack of grapes.
Every time I've been to Plum, I've got to the checkout and gone, oh, I can't come back here. It's very expensive.
Yes,
yeah.
it is
That's
very
outside
pricey.
of my budget.
They have really good ranch on their hot bar, though. And we've had conversations
Yeah,
about
ranch. We
Anyway.
discussed that. We discussed that with your new boyfend
Yes,
last week, just
I-
to throw that in there.
Yes, I have a new, well,
I'm excited about this because you guys all went out and had a good time while I was at back to school night.
and he does not listen to the podcast.
But the
He
friend
refuses
group,
to.
everybody gives a thumbs up. So well done, Adrian.
I got thumbs up. He got thumbs up. And that's what I think he was very concerned about. But I mean, he's a chef, so he can give me all the tips and tricks. And when he comes over to cook for me, it's like a lot. I'm like, it's just the two of us, right? Like, this is not a full restaurant tonight. Like, you can do that. But yeah, he's. I'm actually kind of blushing. I feel very. Yes.
I love this for you.
I like him quite a lot, so I'm off the apps.
Thumbs up. But I did tell him he may not want to listen to the podcast, but he definitely needs to watch it on YouTube because we need to have more views. He can turn it down. He doesn't have to actually
I will tell him.
Have it running. No,
I
he
will
agreed to
remind
it.
him. He agreed.
I've
remind him.
already set it up. Don't worry. Leave that shit to me.
But yes, it's very exciting. So you're not going to hear any more bad dating stories from me, at least not for the foreseeable future. And I really like him quite a lot. He's quite fun.
Good.
Yeah, that's what's keeping me going. But
we could all use a bit of good news.
But I mean, we could maybe not we could be in purgatory right now because everybody was raptured yesterday. So it doesn't even matter.
Are we in a simulation? What's happening?
Well, I half expected to arrive because you did tell me about this on Monday, Dina. I'd never heard of the rapture. I
don't
no
even
idea.
know what the fuck is
not
going
a religious
on.
person here.
I'm seeing weird things on Instagram.
I half expected to arrive here this morning and for you two to be gone and me just to be like sitting here by myself. Norris and I just sitting here.
It's not like a Thanos situation where somebody snaps and 50% of us are gone.
But that was what's funny about all those memes is like it's just like empty clothes on on yards and stuff in front lawns.
I heard people talking about the fact you had to be outside to be taken.
That made no sense to me.
I'm like,
I'm going to take Norris
Trek?
aside and be like, I think if God's going to get you, like some brick and mortar isn't
It's
stopping
not going to
him.
get in the way of
I was so
God.
confused because I got up early yesterday morning and I'm getting ready for my walk and I look out and I can normally see downtown Detroit from my place, right? I'm up high. It was white. I sent a photo to you all and said, "Has the rapture happened?" It was like complete.
Is it kind of like Beam Me Up, Scotty from Star Trek, and they like put you in the tube, and then all of your particles like
I couldn't see
move
a thing.
along. I was just very confused because I tend to delete my social media off my phone for a few days to try to give myself a mental health break, and then I was on. Yesterday I like re-downloaded Instagram and I was like,
how do you remember your passwords? See, that's
they're just automatic. They're just automatic. I don't they're already there. So no, I was like, this is weird. What is with all the rapture shit?
So for those like Julie who haven't,
atheists,
who don't
I'm an
subscribe
agnostic.
to
Cover my bases.
wackery, the rapture is this like born again Christian belief that at the end of days, true believers will suddenly be taken up from earth to join Christ in heaven, and those left behind will face like a tribunal like judgment as part of the end of times prophecy.
I mean, I think we all died during COVID and we're in hell now. I think that's what happened.
I've been quoting you a lot on that, actually, that we're just in a simulation.
It's all a
right
simulation.
Now.
It's
And maybe the rapture has happened and this is what it looks like afterwards.
Maybe. And this is where we're at. I mean, I guess it's not terrible. I do have a new boyfriend guy. So that's fine.
Cool. So
that's cool.
So while like we were like looking up the rapture, and I'm so glad we're all here, guys. Yay, we made it.
We're in the end times together.
I was also like doing my normal like dirt digging because the Republicans had their policy conference and they do these straw polls at these conferences. So it's basically temperature taking of like which one of their candidates is the most popular for which office. And I was looking at the winners. First of all, nobody fucking likes John James, not even the MAGAs. So I found that really interesting. Like Eric Nesbitt won the straw poll for governor, for Republican governor.
Great.
But the SOS candidate who won was Monica Utuma, which I find really strange because this woman has no business being anywhere near anything related to elections. She, first of all, she just has zero electioneering experience.
She's never been a clerk.
No. She's just a lady from Oakland County who wants to get so-called porn out of schools, wants to help you sue your school. if you're a whack job mom for liberty type, which, by the way, like these are Southern Poverty Law Center hate groups. Like they've all been designated hate groups. Like that's the quackery she subscribes to. So I was like, hey, I wonder if this SOS candidate is down for a little bit of rapture too. So we went through her Facebook post, and it turns out,
and I'm here right now,
she's as fucking nutters as Christina Caramo was. If you guys remember, in 2022, the Republicans ran Christina Caramo for SOS, another woman who has zero experience, just somebody who believes all the election conspiracies, and then she opens her mouth and things like demonic possession and demonic, like sexually transmitted demonic diseases. Do you remember these things she was saying?
Gina, I have tried for how many years now to try and get this out of my head. But yes, I do remember sexually transmitted demonic possession or something like that.
Yeah.
Like she was running around fucking touting.
I'm on her website right now.
Monica's?
Oh my God.
So I just want to shout out to Monica. She's like one of our biggest fans.
She had me thrown out of the Turning Point USA every day last year. She was following me around.
And prior to that, she's obsessed with us. And prior to that, she made like a 3-video series like takedown on her video thing that she does. But like, so basically, if you guys want to check out this post, you can find it on our Instagram or Facebook. But basically, back in 2020, Monica, who's now running and might be the candidate for SOS on the Republican side of the ballot, was on Facebook warning about the Antichrist, martial law, microchips, and COVID lockdowns, all as like biblical prophecies. And it was just like super weird. She's like saying like, keep in mind, the Antichrist comes before the second coming. I have studied the Bible in my life in many different forms, and it really always comes down to this. I have been hearing about the second coming of Christ and the events unfolding since I was a kid. The mark of the beast, microchips, no cash, just plastic, martial law, total government dependency and control. It's just
batshit fucking crazy.
This is the lady who wants to be our next Secretary of State.
End of times. We got Trump standing outside of a church with a Bible upside down. So if you want to talk about the mark of the beast, I guess, I don't know, maybe you're on the wrong side here. I'm looking at her Secretary of State website. She was very much all about ending mask mandates in schools. She's got a lot of stuff about public education on here. I don't know if she realizes, though, that the Secretary of State doesn't really have much to do with that.
But can I just point out, this mask thing is really interesting. I have noticed just generally in society right now how many people are wearing masks. And they look like the people that were throwing shade at me back in 2020 when I would wear a mask. And I mean, even gardeners, all sorts of people, all these ICE people, they're all wearing fucking all these things over their faces. And it's like, so you were telling me in 2020 that I was a dickhead for wearing a mask because it wasn't going to protect me from anything.
I want to take that a step further. Do you remember like they were claiming all of these like breathing problems and whatnot?
And that's what I mean. They're all running around now with these fucking masks on. I was watching gardeners as I was on my walk the other day, and they're all got these like things over their faces. And I mean, I get it. You don't want to inhale all the shit. I get it. I have no problem with it. But I'm sure that you are the people yelling at me on the street.
The worst thing I got from the masks was I got a sty on my eye, like, which the doctor said is, that's because of the mask. And I like broke out more.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing for me was I wore glasses, and so it used to always annoy me that my glasses would fog up. Yeah. That was my biggest issue.
Well, great. Monica, welcome to the fray, I guess. I hope she's listening today. Maybe we'll get some love letters.
Yeah, she will. She loves us.
From her.
Hey, Monica, also pull your head out of your ass, please.
God. All right. So Julie's been very excited because she
found joy.
She found some joy.
Tell us where you found it.
I only found it this morning, so it's very new to me. There is Fat Bear Week.
Fat Bear Week, not to be confused with Shark Week.
Well, when I first heard about it, I'm like, is this like bears, as in like the gay men that are a little... I wasn't quite sure what any of this was
Different
about.
Different
bear, right? But apparently what happens every year in Brooks River in Katmai National Park, Alaska, they install cameras right? Every year they do this because bears in Alaska obviously only have a few months that they're actually able to eat because it's fucking freezing during winter. So all during winter they have to basically, they can't eat. There's no fish, there's no salmon available, everything's frozen. So they have to eat for the other 9 months of the year.
Right.
Eat for sort of the 3 months over
gotta
summer.
really pack it on.
Pack all that salmon in. And apparently during Fat Bear Week, you can watch the live bear cam.
Okay.
But even more importantly, and I'm so excited for this, you actually get to vote on who you think will be the fattest bear. So you get to select. This sort of tickles both of my fancies.
I just love the way you say bear.
Bear.
Bear. I say bear and you're like, bah.
So this tickles two of my fancies. One of them is the fact that I really love animals and I've never been to Alaska. It's definitely on my bucket list. The other one is I do like to have a bet. So I do like to,
Yeah.
So apparently matchups are open for voting from October the 2nd to the 8th. You can already watch, when you look up Fat Bear Week on YouTube, you can actually follow and watch the live bear cams and then go and pick who you think is the fattest bear. The interesting part about it, which sort of circled me back to the women issue, is I also heard that apparently, I didn't know this, but female bears, when they're pregnant, they basically have to give birth during winter. So there are months before they give birth where, number one, they're carrying a baby, baby bear, and they can't fucking eat.
Right.
Now they can't take Tylenol either.
No, they can't take Tylenol.
Sorry.
Wait, so is it safe to assume that you always choose the bear?
Oh, of course.
Always choose the bear. My
Always choose
favorite
the bear.
Distill Social sweatshirt I have has the bear on it, and it's my favorite. So
Anyway, can I have that? Gave me a little bit of joy.
I love that's giving me
I like
joy.
Bear 909. I'm just doing
Oh, you're
a little
already
peruse
looking?
in here.
Oh.
how many
Okay.
bears are there?
Well, that depends how many come out. You're
they all-
watching the cam.
okay.
You've
Are
I
got-
they
think
all
they're
grizzly?
all just tagged, so the
Yeah.
number isn't necessarily.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a new thing for me. I'm going to rely on my my little researcher over here, Gina, to really do a deep dive. I know all I had to do was mention it, and I knew in 5 minutes she would be right
Andrew
in
and
there.
I are in it.
You're
You
like,
are,
we're there.
you are.
We're
That's
there for
right.
the bears.
Exactly.
I've definitely been trying to change my algorithms too. So I'm trying to go back to capybaras. I'm going to otters now. I've got the boyfriend guy sending me like animals and like that's I'm trying to change my algorithm so I can just stop seeing
I wish
so
we
much
could get
horror.
like the names. Like, have they named these bears?
Oh,
Bob.
they do. Apparently, there is names for them at some point. Anyway, we will do a deeper dive, and we'll make sure we'll bring this information into you because I think it's something that we really at this point need in some way, shape, or form to continue to find joy.
Yeah, I love this crossover. Let's try to get some of these bear people on. Like, you want to get the bear
I
people
want to get
on?
a bear on.
Let's get a bear on.
Oh wait, is 909? No, he's not out
Oh,
yet.
Gina's taking this very seriously.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm
I'm just
going
going to watch the videos. I don't
Can
know.
I get on FanDuel and like bet on it?
I have not seen.
Hey,
that it's on
FanDuel, we're open for advertisement.
That's right.
Right, exactly.
That's right.
So, what else is bringing you joy at the moment?
Well, I mean, I mentioned the new guy. He's bringing me a lot of joy. Again, the capybara videos, like you're all about the bears. I love the capybaras. I went and saw them at the San Diego Zoo over the summer. They're lazy as fuck and they're amazing. And, I've just been taking a lot more naps and I'm trying not to feel so guilty about it. I'm like, oh, the house isn't quite clean. That's okay. It's clean enough. I need a break. That's my joy. Sleeping.
Gina?
Being unconscious.
Joy?
Joy, other than making fun of Chuck Schumer, because that's endless. God, I don't know. I'm just trying to hang out with my kids a lot. Like right now, we're rewatching all of The Big Bang Theory together.
Cute.
Oh, I love the
So,
Big Bang
like, my
Theory.
daughters started watching The Young Sheldon.
Cameron watched all of Young Sheldon.
and got through all of that. So I said, you know what? Like, let's start Big Bang. And we've
Yeah.
been watching those.
We just finished Summer I Turned Pretty.
I'm watching that at the moment.
God, it was not great. I was like, everyone loves this shit.
It's like watching. I had
It's
never
mindless.
heard of it. Honestly, I'd never heard of it. I've tripped upon it, and I've only watched the first season. But you know what? It's like
It's
eating.
mindless.
It's mindless.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like summer. I don't know. I'm not hating it. I'm just saying I'm not hating it.
Everyone's talking about if they're Team Conrad or Team Jer, and I'm like, I'm Team Nobody. How about that?
I mean, these kids could be my grandchildren. Like they're babies.
They
but
are
anyway.
babies.
Norris and I are watching Love is Blind France.
I just watched the Charlie Sheen documentary.
I gotta watch that one.
Oh my God. So unhinged.
I'm really enjoying like comparing like the French people to the Americans dating, because overall like the people on Love is Blind France, like they're older, like they're all in their 30s, right? In America, we have people on these dating shows who are like 24, and it's like
Some of them
I'm
aren't
ready to
even
get
that.
married.
Like when
Yeah.
I was watching, like some of them are like 21. It's like they're babies.
Like-
Like I don't understand how they get
I
to
came
make.
here to find love. Fuck, go to a bar. Like I don't
know.
like what do
Get
you
on Tinder.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jesus.
So these
like the
people are
rest of us.
mostly like in their mid to later 30s. So they know who they are, and they just like they come out of the gate swinging in these pods, right? And they're just like, this is where I stand, take it or leave it, bottom line. And then they dress like really true to themselves. Like I've noticed like Love is Blind America, like these women are in gowns sitting in a pod that nobody can see you. And I'm like, dude can't see you.
I know.
Why are you wearing this ill-fitting dress that production probably gave you? Because it's clearly not hemmed or you know,
Right.
taken in or anything.
Oh, and it's made out of fabric
Yeah.
that is 100% flammable. Like that's
Lycra,
what I
yeah.
watched one of them because Gina made me, and I'm like, they're wearing 100% flammable clothes.
Yeah.
Why is that so? I hope there's no fire.
I have to assume those women are given those dresses. But on Love is Blind
course.
France, it's like people are just like themselves. Like they dress well, but it's like normal everyday like clothes people would wear.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I've been watching a little too much TV. I saw like the Charlie Sheen thing, and then I started watching Love Con or whatever.
Oh,
Did you
I'm
watch
watching that as
That was the
well.
other one.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
I'm
I've been
watching
watching
that,
that, and I've been
yeah.
texting the boyfriend guy saying I'm going to figure out what your long con is here because you're too nice to me, and I am suspicious.
No,
So
I have
that's the
thoughts about
follow up to the Tindler swindler.
Yes.
So this woman who met a guy on a dating site,
Never meet a man.
in like Sweden. Was it Sweden? Yeah. He wined and dined her and love bombed her and ended up stealing $250,000. And now she is basically paying it forward by going around America, meeting up with men and women who are in the same position and helping them get justice.
And like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's very much like that, like cheaters caught on camera kind of thing
Yeah.
where people like it. Yeah, it's pretty good.
But they're like she hires an investigator
Yeah,
and they
PI.
collect evidence and turn it all over to the police. So these people can finally get justice because let's face it, women go to the police station and they're like, I met this guy online and I ended up giving him all of my savings.
it's a civil matter.
There's no crime here.
Right.
But when
It's fucking theft. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I mean, it's like what, like if someone just because you let them into your house doesn't mean that they can fucking steal everything from you.
It's
Anyway.
there. Yeah. Anyway.
Insane, but yeah.
All the trash TV is helping get us through this time, and
is.
we
hit
definitely
us up in our DMs and leave a comment on Apple or Spotify and tell us what show we should watch.
Yeah,
I know.
I know. I'm definitely taking
I'm
some
excited
suggestions.
for Slow Horses coming back.
Yes, I watched the
there's-
first one.
Yes, so Slow Horses is coming back. There are things happening, but yeah, let us know what you're watching because we're always looking for something to deaden our minds with.
Yes.
I'm watching that and Invasion. Actually, I would be really excited for an alien invasion right now. That would just top things off.
How do you know that's not what's actually
How
happening?
would like the Rapture people like they all leave and then the aliens come?
I'm down. I'm here. Like nothing would surprise me anymore. Like every day is like, well, I guess I'm not really surprised.
It's all on the table.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us on another episode of Point of Disorder today. We really appreciated you listening. And, like Gina said, give us a like, a comment, subscribe, tell your mom, tell your brother, anybody in your life who needs to join us in solidarity. So with that said, we will see you next Thursday.
Bye.
Peace out.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of Point of Disorder. We'd like to extend a huge thank you to everyone who listened today. And if you like us, give us a like, a subscribe, or a review on any place you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Distill Social and at The Guerrilla Politic. This is the Point of Disorder podcast, signing off. Stay sharp, stay progressive, and above all, stay tuned.